Welcome to Cooking with PRTC. I'm your host, Mark McRoy. Today, all the way from St. George, South Carolina, a friend of mine, Blaine Fenders, dropped by to tell us how to cook fish. What have you got in mind for us today, Blaine?
Mark, today we're going to do pan-fried tilapia and with a crab cream sauce on top. And for the sides, we're going to have corn on the cob along with some sauteed asparagus, bell pepper, and onion.
Sounds delicious. Y'all come back and we'll get started. Thanks for joining us. Welcome back. Blaine, what have we got going here?
Well, I'm going to go ahead and put the corn on the cob in to cook, so because it takes a little longer, we'll get it ready.
Okay.
And then we'll start on the rest of the vegetables. Let's get this corn chucked here pretty quick. This is some fresh white corn or Silver Queen.
St. George corn or?
Actually, this didn't come from St. George. I intended to stop by Coach Gruber's place down there in Grover to get some on the way, but I didn't get a chance to stop. But anyway, this will work for us today.
If I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times. This is the best time in the world to cook.
Oh man, fresh vegetables.
I can almost understand why somebody would be a vegetarian at this time of the year. I'm not getting carried away or anything, but still.
Well, I'm a secondhand vegetarian.
Are you?
Yeah, animals eat vegetables and I eat animals.
There you go. I like that. Had a guy at the gun club. That was his, why be a vegetarian? That's what meat eats.
That's right. So I'm going to cut these corn into smaller pieces.
Yep.
Just to make it a little easier to handle later on. I'm going to put it in the pot here and get it going because it takes a little while.
Did you season the water or anything?
Actually, not at this point. I'm going to season the corn. When I get it finished, I just want to get it blanched and boiled pretty good. Sometimes I do. It just kind of depends on what I'm cooking, or if we're eating the corn by itself. But in the end, I'm going to put the corn in with these other vegetables to saute.
Okay.
After it's cooked, which is just a little different spin.
The great thing about the corn is it's got such a good flavor to start with.
Oh man, especially that white corn. Normally it's good and sweet.
Yeah. You really don't have to season at all because it's got such great flavor.
Yep. You're right. All right. So I'm gonna cut my pan on here to get it warming.
Okay. I got it.
And put a little butter in there.
About 2 tablespoons?
Yeah,
Okay.
two tablespoons. Let's see.
Man, that onion smells good too.
It does. That is actually a Vidalia sweet onion. I'm not using a whole lot because I've got about 4 different vegetables that's going to be in the same pan, so I don't want to overpower it with anything and have room to get everything going.
Okay.
Go ahead and stick those onions in there and get those sweating a little bit. And then we'll go with the bell pepper next and then the asparagus.
Do you have a preference of red versus yellow or orange, or just going for color or flavor? Or?
Well, in this, I'm really just kind of going more for the color, to be honest with you.
They are pretty.
I like all types of bell peppers. I use green more because it's the most common and probably the least expensive, but you can find the reds and yellows, at pretty good prices.
Yep.
At times. But yeah, the reds are really nice, especially around Christmas time.
They are pretty. They add a lot to it.
Let's see.
Reds always taste so much sweeter to me for some reason.
Yeah, they are. It is a sweeter pepper. That's actually the pepper that make pimento out of. And I guess pimento is actually Spanish for pepper, correct? Is that right?
I'll trust you. I could Google it later, but right now I'm going to trust you. It sounds good to me. Just say it with enough authority. Everybody will believe you.
That's right.
Okay.
Go ahead and throw these in.
Okay.
Get these bad boys rolling a little. Just a quick sweat.
What is that metal piece you've got there?
It's kind of like it's just a slide.
I like that.
Kind of like a big spatula.
Okay.
Almost. It just keeps from having to bundle things up
Right.
with your hand
Mm-hmm.
and throw them in. It works really well for
Well, if you want to know what to get me for Christmas, Blaine, that's what I want.
for vegetables. I use it all the time for vegetables, especially onions, to keep them off your hands.
Yeah.
I use it if even for meat, like if I'm cutting chicken into chunks.
Yeah.
Just use that, slide it all in there one time.
I like that.
Because transporting from bar to stove, you're not dripping all over
Sure.
the place. It's like kind of like a little spatula bowl type thing, if you will.
I like that.
All right, we're gonna just cut the stems off these asparagus spears here. And we're gonna drop these right on in here.
Sure is going to be pretty. Between
That's
the green,
good.
the red, and the
Matter
white.
of fact, I'm gonna let that cook just for a minute before I put the asparagus in.
Okay.
And then we may go ahead and start getting the fish ready
That sounds good.
to go in just a second and get all this out of the way.
Okay.
And these are ready to go now. What I'm gonna do with the fish is put in like a kind of like a quick soak,
Okay.
just with some fresh lemon juice and some cayenne pepper and salt.
Okay.
Almost like a quick brine.
Yeah.
The fish is very porous, so it doesn't take a whole long time for it to be seasoned.
Did you catch this fish? It's pretty. Those are some nice
No,
fillets.
actually, I bought these, but they are some pretty fillets. See, we'll do about 4 right here. And get this going. Let's see.
It's fresh too. I mean, that's some nice looking fish.
Nice and pink. I'm sure it's...
It's screwed.
Screw come on. Okay. There
There
we
you
go. Some fresh lemon juice on there and a couple seeds. Isn't gonna hurt a thing.
Adds flavor.
Adds flavor.
There you go.
A little bit of cayenne pepper here. Just add the flavor.
Golly, those lentils smell great too.
Mm-hmm. A little
Okay.
salt there. Get this mixed up, and I'll check on my vegetables in the back and get this asparagus in.
All right.
And,
We're going to let Blaine finish this up and get these fish coated and let him check on his vegetables. And we'll be right back in just a minute. Thank you for joining us. Welcome back. Blaine, where are we going from here? What you got going?
all right, we've got the asparagus ready. It's going to go into the saute pan with the onions and peppers
Okay.
and get it started. Just put it right in there. I'm going to give this a quick toss to get it kind of moving around. Got that butter sizzling in there. Those onions and peppers are kind of starting to sweat real good. And
The wonderful thing about this is I don't have the vent going on because of sound, and all the house is full of this smell of these onions and bell peppers.
oh man, that smells good. I'm going to put just a little bit of salt on top of that, just to bring out some of the taste of those onions. That'll help them sweat a little. We'll let that sit a minute or two. And I'm going to start on my cream sauce. I've got some melted butter over here, and I'm going to make a little slurry to get started.
And it's just a
With
saucepan with butter is what
cream
you've got
sauce.
going so far?
A saucepan with half a stick of butter.
Okay.
Got it heated up and warm. Going to put about a 1/4 cup of flour in there. And we'll whisk that down for a minute or two. Get a good slurry. That'll give us a kind of a thick base for the cream sauce. And then just a minute, I'll put the cream in. When you make your slurry like this, you can really put your cream in as quickly as possible. If you want to darken it a little, you can let it cook just for a minute or two until that butter starts to brown and the flour starts to brown, and give it a little more color, instead of just a straight white
Right.
cream base. This is going to be more like a kind of a beigeish light brown.
It looks good so far.
Put this cream in,
Okay.
it thickens pretty quick with that flour in there, so you just have to kind of mix it in as it goes, and also you don't want to scald the milk.
Just a medium heat?
Yeah, just a medium heat, and this is actually half and half. You can use straight milk, or you could use even more of a heavy whipping cream or a combination. I have used evaporated milk in a mixture with, just regular
How was that?
whole milk. It was good. It gives it a little different flavor, a little, richer
Yeah.
type flavor. Now this has got to heat for a few minutes until it starts to thicken. And but once that flour starts to thicken, it really takes off. So
I wouldn't have thought you could use evaporated milk, but I guess it would work. But the consistency seems like it would be different. But if you said it works, I bet it's good.
It works good. It thickens, right in with the flour.
Learn something new.
All right, I got that stirred up. It's still not real thick, but when I put the crab meat in, it's going to thicken, and as it cooks and simmers for 15 or 20 minutes, it'll thicken. So we're going to move back here.
Sure making me hungry.
What we're going to do here, we got a little Zatarain's Creole seasoning. Put about a teaspoon of that. Just a little bit of salt, not a whole lot, because some of these other spices have salt in them.
Okay.
This is onion and garlic powder mixture. About a teaspoon of that. Tiny bit of cayenne pepper, because we don't want to burn anybody up, but that does give it a little kick in the end. And a little bit of parsley flakes here, just to give it a little flavor and a little color. That's actually dried parsley, not fresh. But in that cream sauce, it'll
Recompose.
It'll rehydrate.
Okay.
Put the crab meat in here.
Okay.
I dropped a little there, but that's okay. All right.
Man, that smells good.
It's going to be good on top of that tilapia. All right, I'm going to put this back on the stove. Mix it in. Let me get a little more heat here. Still don't want to get it too hot. I've got these vegetables back here working pretty good. Asparagus is starting to sweat good, pretty good.
Now you're just gonna let the sauce sit by itself, or do you
Yeah.
have to keep stirring it?
Yeah, you have to stir it very frequently, because if not, it'll scald or stick on you. I'll
Okay.
Put that top on there for a little bit to quiet that down just a little, and you want to keep stirring it. That way it thickens good, because if not, sometimes it'll kind of separate and it doesn't thicken exactly like it should. But I tell you what I've done with this same sauce is use fresh shrimp instead of crab meat.
Honey hush.
Just peel the shrimp,
Yeah.
actually saute them in a little butter and cayenne,
Right.
and then put them in there. That way they cook. This is obviously cooked crab meat. So
Okay.
basically you just melding all the flavors together and thickening it up. So.
All right. Well, we're gonna let Blaine stir this for a minute. We're gonna take a break and come back and get ready with the fish. Thanks again for joining us, folks. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back. We've got our vegetables done and our sauce done. Blaine's got the fish has been soaking in the lemon. Where are we gonna go from here, Blaine?
All right, well, I'm gonna finish my batter. I've got some house archery seafood breader, and I'm gonna add a little bit of Zatarain's Creole seasoning just to give it a little kick. A little more garlic and onion powder.
Gotta add something.
You gotta add something to it. You cannot take it right off the shelf and cook with it. You gotta fix it up.
That's right.
All right, we'll just mix this up a little. Get all of that kind of equal through there. We're gonna take these fillets out. They've been soaking in a mixture of lemon juice, cayenne pepper, and salt. We'll put these down in the breader mix and get them coated good.
Okay.
And put them in the frying pan.
Blaine, you came all the way from St. George. We appreciate you making that trip through the hurricanes and everything. What do you do over in St. George?
Actually, I'm in the tire and automotive repair business.
Okay.
We're an independent dealer. We work on passenger cars, light trucks, trailers,
Okay.
that kind of thing. Just automotive repair right there in St. George.
Started a business yourself?
No, actually, my dad started the business. I'm what they call a second generation tire dealer. And my dad retired about 15 years ago, and I've been running the business since then, or maybe it's been running me, I don't know, but.
I do know the feeling. Blaine, tell us about your family. You got any kids?
I'm married. I've been married 26 and a half years to the same woman. Yeah, I'm lucky in that respect. I have 4 children.
He is lucky. I know his wife. She's a wonderful person.
She is. Have 3 daughters and a son, and I have a 4-year-old and 3-month-old granddaughters.
And they are as beautiful as their grandmama.
They are the most precious grandchildren in the world. All right, I've got this ready.
All right.
I'm gonna rinse my hands real quick, and we're gonna drop this in the oil and get it cooking.
Blaine, I want to ask you about something you just did with the bread, because I do not have a oil thermometer. So tell us what you did to test for the bread, to test with the oil temperature.
Actually, what I did when I got the oil on and started heating, I just took a piece of bread, any type bread, dropped it in the oil, and when it sizzles and comes to the top, you know it's up to temperature. If you don't have an oil thermometer.
That is always good information.
Put these in slowly so that we don't have a flash. Turn this up just a little, and we'll get cooking here. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that's perfect.
A good little sizzle. You don't want it to be too hot because it'll flash up and cause a safety problem first and foremost. But then also you want the fish to cook evenly. You don't want the outside to be cooked and the inside to be uncooked when you get finished. So what we're going to do here is get all 4 of these pieces in this hot oil.
Okay.
And I'll move them around a little, and when they start floating in 3 or 4 minutes and turning brown, I'll turn them over, cook them for a few minutes on the other side, and we'll take them out and we'll be ready to eat here shortly.
Blaine, it sounds good. You're using tilapia. Could you use, say, brim or flounder, or is this?
No, certainly you could use any. It'd be good to use any fillet type fish.
Okay.
That way, when you put the cream sauce on it, you don't have to pick through the bones.
Makes sense.
I actually got this idea and recipe from a good friend of mine and college roommate, Gary Veroni, who used to work at a restaurant in Folly Beach called Crawdaddy's.
Okay.
This was his signature dish, and he used fried catfish.
Okay.
And the same cream sauce, and he was willing to give me the recipe that he used, actually.
We appreciate you sharing it.
I doctored it up some, of course.
Of course.
But it works for me. And Gary's a dear friend of mine. I hadn't seen him in a long time, but this is a great dish. And every time I think about him, I try to cook it, and it makes me think about old times we had.
That's always fun. But I can see where a catfish would be good with this. Like you said, it just needs to be a fillet. Okay. Oh man, that looks good.
Oh yeah, this is going to be good. It's fried real light. The seafood breader I use, again, is called House Autry. You can buy it in any grocery store. It's just their plain seafood breader, but it's really light on the fish. You can use it on fish, shrimp. I've actually even used it on onion rings, before.
Okay.
That type thing. And but this is cooking up good. While I'm doing that, while that fish is cooking, I'm gonna add 2 more ingredients for crab sauce: a little Old Bay
Okay.
seafood seasoning here.
I think that's a South Carolina law. You have to have Old Bay if you're using crab.
Yeah, pretty much a law. A little Old Bay there. And we're going to put a little bit of sherry in here. And that'll also help maybe thin it a little because the sauce has gotten really thick. And then also give it just an extra little kick that's really good with the seafood and crab. With that, the crab sometimes is really, really rich.
Yep.
Or this cream sauce is really rich. So that sherry just kind of cuts and blends in with that and helps that out. See how the sauce is thick and good, and it's really going to be nice on top of that tilapia. So, all right, we're almost ready.
The smell is fantastic.
Get the fish done here in a few minutes, and we'll be ready to plate it up and see what happens.
Sounds good. Folks, we're going to take a break and come right back with our tilapia and our crab sauce. And this is smelling great. Looking forward to it. Y'all come back. Folks, I am looking forward to this. I'm telling you what, this smells wonderful and it looks great. Blaine, you want to recap and tell us how you did this?
Sure. We fried some tilapia, made a crab cream sauce to go over the top of it. I did some steamed or basically sauteed asparagus, onions, and red bell pepper with some corn on the cob, and actually incorporated the corn on the cob into the sauteed vegetables. In the end, I put the corn in the pan with the other vegetables with some of the corn broth.
Okay.
And finished the steaming. Everything was done, but I just kind of infused the flavor of all the vegetables, throughout each other, and that's kind of about it. Again, the crab sauce complements the fish, and I hope it's going to be good. I have this old saying that I use when I cook. This, something maybe a little different. It goes like this. This is how we do it in the low country. Everybody ain't ready for all this.
Blaine, I tell you the truth, I thank you for coming, and I'm looking forward to trying this. Let's get started. Folks, thanks for joining us again. That tastes just as good as you would think it is. Oh man, that sherry is just fantastic.
That's good.
Oh God. Thanks again, folks.